Hi, Ben. So, is this your first time in the Philippines? How are you finding it so far?
Actually, this is my third time in the Philippines. And I usually visit the Philippines to look for some promising companies by how energetic and lively the business scene is, especially in Makati. And personally, I'm learning about some Philippine culture, including some drinking, Don Papa rum, responsibly, of course. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So, Greg, what makes you excited about the Philippines and where Tony is today?
Well, I think Philippines is at a real inflection point in terms of the middle class development. And it's a very exciting time to be here. And this is actually why we're here, because one of the key things about the development of the middle class is you get this kind of explosion of consumer lending, which hasn't happened in the Philippines yet. We're at the very beginning of this. So what we have is actually a situation where the top 10% of Filipinos have way too much credit from the traditional banks, and the remaining 90% have no credit from traditional banks. And we have the lowest consumer finance penetration of anywhere in Southeast Asia on a per capita basis. So actually, this is changing now. Also, largely due to the digitization of the economy and the entry of guys like us who can access those customers digitally. So, very exciting time to be a digital bank in this country focused on consumer finance.
Oh, yeah, that sounds impressive. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ben. Then, how have the Japan public markets evolved in the last few years with respect to the more global listings?
In the past, only few blue chip Western companies listed on our market and rarely listed on our market from Asian countries. But things have been have changed from 2013. Japanese investors invested in Southeast Asia, and those portfolio companies has been grown and started listed on Tokyo Stock Exchange. So to respond to the listing, so we Tokyo Stock Exchange established the dedicated team to support Southeast Asian startups and promote our IPO market to the foreign companies in Singapore branch. And more than that, we launched the TSC Asia Startup Hub. So you joined. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, this program launched in 2024. This is second batch, and Tonik is the first company chosen in this program from the Philippines. So the environment of the IPO in Tokyo Stock Exchange is totally changed, and we are very open to the global firms.
Fantastic. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
And thank you for having us on the program.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. So, apart from having Mizuho as an investor, what makes the Japan public market interesting for a digital bank like Tony?
Yeah, thank you. Then, as we grow, we will grow our assets. And every bank that is rapidly growing like us, I mean, we've been doubling our asset size every year for the last 3 or 4 years. We intend to continue doubling because the capacity of the market is very large. And we're a regulated institution. This means we also have to proportionally keep increasing our capital base of the bank. So for any bank that is growing as fast as us, you need access to a deep pool of long-term capital that the bank can tap on growing its capital base. And of course, in Asia, Japan is such a market. And by far the deepest market and with the most long-term capital that exists. So we're very, very excited about being part of the Tokyo Stock Exchange program now. And especially thank you for selecting us as the first Filipino company. And for us, it's very interesting to be building within that capital base of the Tokyo Stock Exchange partnerships and ultimately leading to our listing, hopefully in Tokyo Stock Exchange.
Yeah, that sounds wonderful.
Thank you, Ben. So, Ben, how do you see companies from Singapore and Southeast Asia impacting the IPO playbook in Japan?
So in the past, honestly say, there's no playbook for the Southeast Asian companies. But Southeast Asian companies have dramatically grown in several years, and they needed to the venue where to do their exit with high valuation and liquidity. So Tokyo Stock Exchange and our regulator updated the system. So thanks for the update. In 2021, we welcomed two foreign startups from Singapore, YCP Holdings and the OmniPlus system. So they can still keep their domicile in Singapore. Before that, if they want to list on our market, they just have to change their domicile from Singapore or their original country to Japan. So now that means we are very welcome to not just the changing domicile, but also the foreign entity companies as well.
Fantastic.
Okay, so what are you most looking forward to becoming one of 20 supported companies in the TSE Asia startup hub?
Yeah, we're very excited about becoming part of the program, especially as the first Filipino startup to join the program. And we're very thankful to our partners at Insignia as well for helping us to meet TSE and ultimately become part of the program. The most exciting thing for us is, of course, access to long-term capital, long-term partnerships for building our capital gate. We're also funded mostly by venture capital investors who will be looking for liquidity eventually. And the traditional way for a technology company to access that liquidity is through an IPO. And of course, TSE is by far the deepest liquidity anywhere in Asia today. And we see that potential to both grow our capital base and provide liquidity to our historic investors will be something that will be playing out. On a personal level, I'm a huge fan of Japan and Japanese culture.
Yeah, me as well.
It
Yeah, I'm
started
Korean.
exactly.
Yeah.
But for me, it started, in high school when I started, training karate, and I've been actually trying to come to Japan and learn about Japan, and very much looking forward to more excuse to come to Japan and visit more often and participate in the culture.
Yeah, not the business side, but also the personal side is quite a good point.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ben, can you share with me some examples of how non-Japanese headquartered companies have leveraged being public for further growth? And what advice would you have for companies that are interested in Japan when it comes to maximizing on the public market?
Yeah, that's a quite great question. We don't have kind of some strict Japan relationship or some criteria to list on Tokyo Stock Exchange, but having some Japan office or Japan relation is quite helpful to persuade retail investor, which is the biggest player in our growth market, the entry market of the Tokyo Stock Exchange. That doesn't mean you have to set up your office, your headquarters in Japan. There are lots of Japanese companies are looking for the business partner that make some business expansion in Southeast Asia. So like your relationship with Mizuho. My advice is to other startup is just looking for some good business partner. And before that, they have to establish credibility like you. Some knocking a door to JETRO or Tokyo Stock Exchange is quite a good option because we will support the penetrating Japanese market or looking for business partner, of course, without charge. If I should say more, being invested by some Japan-related VCs or investors like Insignia Venture Partners, that is quite a good option. How would you describe the Philippines digital banking opportunity to Japanese public markets investor?
Yeah, I think what is most exciting about the digital banking opportunities in the Philippines is that 90% of the Filipinos have never had a bank loan. So what this means is there's this tremendous $100 billion plus untapped market for consumer credit. that is going to be opening up over the next decade as the middle class in the Philippines matures. Of course, it's not easy to access this market because you don't have credit histories and it's difficult to assess credit. So you need to deploy digital tools for credit assessment, digital footprint analytics, alternative scoring. You also need to be very efficient with your operations, which digital banks are. Then if you put these elements strategically together, then what you can actually access is very, very high growth, as well as very high profitability. So to give you an example, we've been growing at 100% plus, so doubling every year for the last 3 or 4 years. Each year, we plan to continue doing that. The market certainly allows us to grow that and even more if we want to. But at the same time, we've been able to generate very attractive profitability. Our lending products now are operating at risk-adjusted return on capital of over 25%. And this is actually not the type of return on capital that is available in the more mature markets. So for example, for Japanese banks, typically the growth is single digit, if that. And the spreads, risk-adjusted spreads, are in single digits in basis points, not in percentage points. Actually, what this means is if you layer the digital efficiency on top of this, then you become a very profitable and very rapidly growing operator. And this is an inflection point that we've passed in the last few years. So our next milestone that we're working on is achieving cash flow break-even. We believe this is for us a few months away. We're already contribution margin break-even on the P&L level. And from that point on, just compounding our customer base, continuing to compound these relationships and growing into this $100 billion consumer lending opportunity.
Oh, wow, that is quite some exciting plan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.